Hello everyone, welcome back. Once again, No Man's Sky Permadeath Survival Challenge. I've been busy hunting down pirate battles between episodes and have some good news. We finally found a freighter, a capital freighter, that's S-class. So I thought I'd show that off. We've got here what has been called by the community the Sentinel design, because it looks like the Sentinel battleships, which we haven't covered on camera yet, but we'll get to it. It took about 15 tries. I did it in pirate systems. That has a little bit better chance of getting an S-class super capital ship, as I prefer to call them. And I'm pretty satisfied. Probably would have taken more than twice that many to do it in a 3-star economy system. You can see that we've got here on the left side, as I scan, you can see that it's a freighter S-class. It's got 26 plus 13, that means 26 cargo slots and 13 tech slots. It's actually very small for a super capital ship. But okay, we'll work on it. I'm just happy to have this S-class ship. One of the reasons that I've been doing the hard work trying to get an S-class is because it has potentially the best hyperdrive, warp drive stats that you can get. Even better than the Explorers, like we have here. The hyperdrive range on this one's 218. That's got some upgrades on it. But the base hyperdrive range is, I don't have any ships that I think are at base anymore. This is the one I've been upgrading to travel around and explore and trying to find these pirate battles and so on. It's up to almost 1100 hyperdrive range. But anyway, the base hyperdrive range for starships, as I recall, is about 101. And that is substantially lower than the maximum that you can get with a capital ship, which is up to about 181, which results in very large increase to maximum hyperdrive range once you get all the upgrades applied. We'll get to that in a later video, but the game has been kind enough to give us a tutorial mission, so I thought we'd do that on camera. I explain a few more things about this cool new asset that we've picked up. So let's get right into it. It's telling me to check the fleet management terminal, so we're going to do that. Once we have a capital ship, we can recruit a squadron of fighters to come out and assist us. Anytime we get into combat out in space in our starship, they'll just show up. Now we have to unlock that with nanites. First one only costs 800 nanites, but the next one's 3,500. The one after that is, I think, 8 or 10,000. It gets pretty expensive pretty quickly. So I'm not sure I want to unlock all of those right now, but we'll unlock one. Anytime we run into a pilot, be on a space station or on a planet or wherever, we can now talk to them about recruiting them to join our squadron. And if we find a good one, a S rank, probably S rank pilot, then we'll add them to our squadron. I'll come back here, I'll unlock another slot. Also in the fleet management console we have, well, the ability to manage our fleet. And this is a list of frigates. You can see here as I mouse over this one, you can see on the left this frigate being highlighted. We can actually go out and recruit frigates now. I haven't really gotten into this very much, but when you encounter frigates out in star systems, they will often have frigates that you can hire to become a part of your fleet. And you can send those frigates out to do missions. And that's what the tutorial mission is now telling us to do. Talk to this navigator here, and he'll talk to us about getting missions set up. Graw, interloper captain, our ship lacks a fleet command room. We cannot possibly dispatch expeditions in this state. Okay, let's fix that. So I need to build a fleet command room. We do that the same way we would do any base building. One of the things you can do with a freighter is build a base on it. Every freighter, when you purchase it, comes with a little bit of a base of some kind. This one's very small. There's not much of anything here. I think I'm just going to tear this all up. But for the moment, we're not going to take time doing that. We are just going to look at these things here real quick. Looks like we can make a trade room. That's good. We can sell our stuff without having to go onto a planet. And we can get a construction specialist up here. That's something I'm going to cover in a later video. We have some corridors and doors that we can put down. We have a farming chamber. We're going to be building a lot of those. Actually, I'm going to try and unlock the double cultivation chamber. We'll be needing that for our trade goods that we want to be producing. And we start with all of these storage rooms unlocked and the refiner room. This is all going to be very important to us later. Let's see if we have what we need to build a fleet command room. It looks like we do. So let's just build one of those real quick. We will find a place to put it. I guess we'll put it there. Rotate it so we can see it. We'll move it around later after I've had a chance to think about how to lay everything out. But for now, we'll just put it right here. Calibrating command post to new master signature success. Master profile indicates one support frigate available. Profile indicates no frigate fuel blueprints available. Download? Yes, please. And now we can make fuel. They don't run on normal starship fuel. They're way too big for that. But it is constructed similarly. We need some dihydrogen and tritium to make frigate fuel. Let's just make the big one. And now we can go back to our navigation specialist and send our one lonely frigate out on a mission. I have charted new expedition routes. Prepare for triumph. Okay. Show us what you got. Conveniently, we have some very short missions that we can send out our one lonely frigate on as part of this tutorial that they've given us. I'm going to pick the shortest one for now. And here we can see a review of the frigates that we have sent on or have marked for potentially sending out on an expedition. Once we meet all the requirements, we can actually launch that expedition. We cannot launch one without a frigate assigned. So we've got a combat frigate here. And, you know, I think one of those missions that we were looking at was a combat mission, wasn't it? But it's a 2-star difficulty. I just feel like maybe we should go with something a little easier for our first one. Usethi's Grand Tour really does sound to me like a great one to be the first expedition. So we'll send this. It is now assigned. We just have to click on it. Click and hold for a fraction of a second. And now when we go back, it will be on the list of frigates that are marked for this mission. We can put various boosters, which are consumed every time that a mission is sent out, but we don't have any of them unlocked currently, or any of them in our inventory. We'll get to that later. So the difficulty rating is 1 star, our fleet rating is 1 star. That is acceptable for our, right now, very beginning of the game, very first expedition. The higher the fleet rating is compared to the difficulty rating, the less likely that there's going to be any problems while they're out on the mission. We only need 50 tons of fuel to send this one out. We have 200 that we just made, so we're going to use that to launch this expedition. And in 40 minutes we can come back and see what we've gotten from our expedition. Obviously we'll be covering that in a future video, probably the next one. I'll try to get some work done on freighter base, get it set up with the basic necessities we need in a base at least, and show that off and the results of the expedition in our next video, but there's a few more things I can show you right now. One of the nice things about a freighter that it comes with 9 parking spots for ships. And you can see there's my current ship right there, but also these other ships are also my ships. So it's letting me park them out here where I can take a look at them and show them off to people, like this really interesting looking squid-shaped ship. It's an exotic ship. They're all S-Class. These are just different S-Class ships I've found while I've been wandering around doing things. It's a solar ship. You may have seen those in some of the other videos I've done. They got the really cool electronic looking sails that get deployed when they go out into space. And another thing that you can see, in addition to your own ships that you have parked around, occasionally pilots will come in from space and dock, and you can talk to them, buy stuff from them, whatever. You can even buy their ships if you want. But I have so many ships in the garage here that we probably won't see any pilots showing up. At least that is how it is said to work. If you've got at least 6 ships, then you won't have any pilots showing up from space. So I think that's exactly the number I have. Now, as I was mentioning about being able to hire frigates I should say, for your freighter fleet, we have some just sitting out here. This freighter group worked in just before I started the video, so I thought, alright, we'll show them what it's like to recruit a frigate. So we get this little navigation marker showing us when we are looking at a frigate we can recruit. So we're going to talk to it. Interloper, do you tremble before the sight of our mighty starship? Do not fear, we are allies. Perhaps there is a place for us in your fleet. Maybe. Let's take a look. You will not regret this, interloper. This doesn't look like a very good ship. But let's do a little math and see. Of the types of ships you can have, there are mining vessels like this one, there are science vessels, there's combat vessels like the one we just sent out on an expedition, and there are trade vessels. Those 4 types have a few things that characterize them. They have one of the 4 stats that they are specialized in. They come with a plus 15 to that stat. In this case of a mining vessel, they get a plus 15 to industry. They also sometimes come with some other positive or negative traits. This one has 2 negative traits, which isn't very good, but we can get rid of those later, so it's only bad temporarily. In addition to the points that they have, this determines the fleet strength when you send things out on missions. They also have a fuel requirement, and 6 tons is actually pretty low per 250 light years. That mission we just sent them out on, or that one ship out on I should say, was a 900 and some odd light year mission, so it would have to pay this cost 4 times, I believe. But you can't send out an expedition that costs less than 50 tons of fuel, because it doesn't come in increments smaller than that, so that's why it said it cost 50. So this is pretty good. Low fuel cost, that's very desirable. And that number there ranges from, I forget off the top of my head, somewhere around 5 or 6 to 11 or 12. I think it's 6 to 11, but anyway. So that's a pretty good number. And if we subtract the 15 points from this bonus module and add 8 points for these negative modules that we'll eventually be able to work off, that means we need to subtract 7 points from this industrial or whatever. Well, this is a negative number. I think the math still works out like that. Or we could just do it this way. This negative counts for half of that, so we'll just add 5. And then subtract 15. So anyway, I'm doing the math wrong. Anyway, so we add up all these numbers. I'm doing this the hard way. We have 8, 21, that's 9 minus, or 29, minus 3 is 26. Add 8, that's 34, and then subtract 15. That is 19? Yes. So we have 19 points. This has 14 expeditions on it, I believe, as I recall. That makes this a frigate with 2 rank promotions. So every time they get a rank promotion, you can see this here, it's progress to next rank. Every time they get a rank promotion, it adds like 6 points. So we're going to subtract 12 points from that, and that leaves us with the base number of points that this transporter mining vessel has. That leaves us with 7. That's a okay number. On a ship that doesn't have any bugs, because most ships have some bugs, the starting trait number is between, I believe, 6, no, I think it might go a little lower than that, but it goes from about 6 to about 12. Once again, kind of like the fuel requirements. I should have reviewed this information before I made this video, my apologies. But my rule of thumb is that if after you subtract all the bonuses and penalties and things like that, if you have at least 6 or better, you've got a reasonably good ship. You can do a little bit better, but you can do a lot worse, and you can look for a long time trying to find something better. Since we're at the beginning here, we don't have a bunch of freighters, and we would like to get some freighters put to work for us, getting us stuff. I'm going to take this one, because it's got 6 or better, 7 in this case, and only 6 fuel per 250 light years required. That's a pretty good ship. Now, if it was fuel requirement of like 9 or 10, I'd probably maybe say, no, I think we'll pass. But this one's pretty good, so I'm going to accept it, and we're going to go and check the next one over here. We might have to shoot down this pirate because he seems to be picking on the... Yeah, now he's picking on us. He seems to be picking on the freighters. I have to fix that. Try not to hit the freighter. That fugitive was worth almost 500,000 units. That's not too bad. This is a science ship. There's a pod ship in the way, so it's kind of hard to see it, but it's characterized by the ring there at the front. And it doesn't seem to want to talk to us yet. Let's come at it from the other side. Alright, now it should want to talk to us, I hope. Talk to me! Does not want to talk to us. Fine, we'll go talk to somebody else. There's another science ship. We'll see what that one has to say. Look how awesome our ship is, he says. Alright, so this one's a little bit different. This one's got that plus 15 exploration from its specialty. We subtract the 15, that's only 1. That makes this one 4. Only 4, and it has no rank advancements. The bug that sometimes pops up is that when they get their first rank advancement, sometimes they don't get the 6 points that they're supposed to get. And most freighters in this game have this bug. So, given that it's only 4 points, and that it's likely to be even worse after its next level up, or I should say be no better after its next level up, that's going to make this probably a very bad ship. Even though the fuel requirement is very low, it's probably going to be a very bad ship. I'm not going to buy that one. We'll look at one more, and then we'll call it good. Let's see if we can get that one that we marked to talk to us now that we've sailed away. Yes, now it will talk to us. Let's take a look. Alright, this one, we take away 15, that's 4 plus 2, that's 6, and 6 tons of fuel. This one might get that bug because it also has no expeditions. It might not be a good one. but it might be an okay one. 6 and 6 fuel cost, that's pretty good. And we're getting it for a bargain because it's only C class. As it goes out on missions, it'll rank up eventually to S class. And then it can even rank up beyond that. It won't increase its class, but it'll continue to get points for a while. So this one's a long-term investment. We'll have to take a look. We'll send it on some missions. If it doesn't get points on its first rank up, which it should get after just 3 expeditions, then we'll let it go. So now we've got a couple of ships. We're going to head back down to our freighter. Whoosh! Do a fancy acrobatic maneuver on the way in, and head up to our bridge and send these 2 ships off on a mission. Oh look, here's a pilot that came in from outside. I guess since we weren't in the hangar, that left room for a pilot to come in. And it's just like any other. We can buy stuff from him if we want. Turns out I need those. And yeah, we could buy a ship if we wanted, but we've got all the ships we need probably. We've got S rank of every kind of ship now. And the only thing we could do any better is get ones that look nicer, which I might do later. So we need to talk to this guy again. Talk to me, Mr. Navigator. Hello. Don't you know? Am I not on my freighter? I'm not on my freighter, am I? No wonder there was something in the hangar. Let's see. That's my capital ship over there. This one looks like mine. Oops. Alright, well, comic mistake aside, I think that's going to be it for our video today. When we come back, I'll have a little bit more freighter stuff for you, and then maybe we'll get to a little bit of exploration, because we need to find some more ships, or not some more ships, but some more planets that we can use to get resources for our trade good manufacturing operation. Thank you all for coming. I hope you enjoyed the video. We'll see you again real soon, and until then, have a great one. Bye now.